Hey guys, and welcome back to this video tutorial. In this video tutorial we are going to talk about the pie chart. Pie chart is a very good way to represent data and give you a better insight about your data. So here, as you can see, I opened this website which has a useful information that we are going to create an example in Python upon it. So as you can see here, it says a pie chart is a special chart that uses pie slices to show relative sizes of data. So suppose that you have um, some people in your city, for example, and you made a survey and they said, these people, they said that 4 of them said that they like comedy movies, and 5 people of that sample said that they prefer action movies, and 6 went for romance, and 1 for drama, and science fiction for only 4. So you would, instead of just drawing this table and putting these values inside, if you use the pie chart, it's gonna give you a better statistical analysis about your data. So here, as you can see, the pie chart here gives us a very good insight about who likes the romance movie and the action movie the most. And as you can see, most of the sample, 30% plus 25, which means 55% of the sample prefer action as well as romance movies, which means that most of them like these 2 types of movies. So if you give these data to some organization or some movie producer, he would definitely create a movie. He would definitely create an action movie or romance movie in that area or in that community, because the majority of people prefer these 2 movies rather than any other type of movies. Of course, the comedy took 20%, and science fiction as well 20%, but it depends upon how the statistician would say about the data and represent the data. So it's very useful, and as you can see here, it gives you the total of the sample, and gives you also the calculation how it was calculated. So we divide the number of people who for example like the comedy movies the most by the total number of people or the sample, and it gives of course it gives us the percentage of that type of movies, of that type of movie. And here it gives you also more information. You can go through it. I'm gonna give you this link, and let's get started now and create that example in Python. First of all, you need to open your text editor, and of course we import the matplot library. And the first thing that you need to do is to decide which type of data you want to represent or draw. So in our example here, we have movies and a type of movies. So I am going to, first of all, I am going to give values for these. So the first thing is the comedy took 4, I think. Let's move this to the right side so that I can take the data from here. And then the action movie, 5 people like the action, and romance 6 people, and then we have the drama, only one, and science fiction fic equals to 5, I think 4. Yep. And the best thing about about the pie chart in matplot library is that you don't have to create all of these calculations yourself. You just give values, and it's gonna give you, it's gonna draw the chart with all of with all of the information on it. And we also need to create labels. So I'm gonna use labels, and it should be an array, by the way, and you should start by the first thing that you typed here. So the first thing was comedy, the second thing was action, the third thing was romance, and the fourth was drama, and the last was science fiction. And these were the labels. Now the colors, of course, as you can see here, we should give each one a color so that it looks better and we can recognize each one. So colors equals to, again, an array, and colors in Python are represented by just symbols. So the C, I think M for, or R, sorry, R for red, and we have also M. Let's try, because I can't memorize all of these, but I'm sure there is an M. There is no T. I think there is K, and there is C. I'm sure about that, but I forgot the symbols. And there's K, I think, or N. Let's try and edit what went wrong. And the last thing that we need to do is to use the pi function, and it's called pi, just pi, and it takes many parameters, but some of them are just optional. The first one, of course, is the data, and we forgot to create the array that will represent the data. So the array of data, array equals to these values. So I should pass these values, comedy and then action, and pay attention to the order of these data. They should be ordered in that way so that you don't mess up with anything, especially with the labels and the colors and so on. So the first thing that you need to pass is the array of data. The second thing that you need to pass is the labels, but you should use labels equal to labels, which is this one, and the third one is the color. So we pass colors equals to colors, and the third thing that we need to pass is the it's optional, by the way, and it's the percentage. As you can see, the percentage here, and we use the argument auto percentage pct equals to the format that we want. So the format should be, first of all, we put two percentage signs, and then 0 for the number on the left side of the dot, and then 1 0 or 2 zeros, so that we represent how many digits we want to display, and then F for format, and again the percentage format, so that the percentage sign, so that it gets drawn on the chart. And finally, we use the plot.title to give a title for the chart. So the title could be movie preference, and finally we use the show function so that we show the function. Let's save now and run, and we have an error. The n is wrong, so it doesn't work. I think Y for, and yeah, now it's much better. And as you can see now, the title of the chart is movie preference, and the action took 25, the romance 30%, the drama 5%, the science fiction 20%, the comedy as well 20%. And as you can see, this will give us a better understanding of the data that we took from the community or from the city or whatever sample. So if you have any questions about this tutorial, feel free to ask me, and don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and also if you have any questions or any special tutorial you want, feel free to tell me, and I'll see you later.